Yo, good morning wherever you may be. Good afternoon if you are having your lunch break, or good evening if you are driving home from work, winding down, or simply just relaxing. I need for you guys to go ahead and get comfortable, grab your snacks, get cozy, call a friend, light those candles because it is a new episode and a new season of Evolving with Life Coach Jarell. Well, what's good? What's good? What's good, my people? What is up? Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Jarell, better known as Life Coach Jarell. And you guys are tuned in to another episode segment of Evolving with Life Coach Jarell. I'm excited to be here with you guys and to chit chat and talk and to catch up. But before we get into the things that make the things of all things, I really just kind of ate that. I really just ate that. But first off, let's go ahead and give a shout out to all of the podcast platforms that allow my podcast to be showcased on their platform. So shout out to Spotify, shout out to Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and all of the other platforms across the world. I love you guys and thank you so much for allowing me to be a vessel and a light to shed light to others and to help in this world. And last but not least, shout out to all of my supporters who I like to call my evolvers. So remember, if you support the podcast on any of those platforms or even on YouTube, or you follow my vlog channel, and if you have been rocking with me since my very first podcast, Flowing with Life Coach Jarell, that I started in 2017, I want to tell you thank you. Thank you so much for loving on me. Thank you so much for supporting me. To all of my people across the country that have been viewing and listening and riding with me, man, I promise you guys mean more to me than you will ever know. And yeah, and just remember, guys, if you want to connect with me a little bit more, I really encourage you guys to follow my YouTube channel where I have a weekly vlog, and it is called Evolving with Jarell. And you can type that in the search bar on YouTube, and you can subscribe to my channel and become an official evolver on the YouTube channel. And you guys can tune in to my content as well as catch up on the podcast episodes there. So I always feel like it's always good to sometimes connect the person with the voice that you hear, especially if my voice is a voice that you kind of tune into regularly, right? So that's always a good thing. And I'm just trying to expand myself and push myself in so many different areas of life to connect with you guys and to just be better. Now, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you guys can follow me at lifecoach_Jarell. That's LIFECOACH_JARELL. You guys can also follow me on TikTok now because I have a TikTok again, and it is evolving period with period Jarell, Jarell. So I would love your support and I'd love to connect with you guys. So yeah, let's get into today's topic. And I feel like it's one that's so good. And this one means a lot to me because I consider myself to be a really kind person. I consider myself to be a good person. I really do. And so today's topic is, you never know the good that will come from you doing good. You will never know the good that will come from you doing good. A lot of us, some of us are churchy. We like to call it the golden rule, but it is a principle that is taught across many religions and many households. And that is treat people the way you want to be treated. Show up for people the way you want people to show up for you. Love on people the way you want to be loved, right? And it's kind of like two things, right? It's a little bit of reciprocation, what you put out is what you get back. But then it's also, we're not in a position, or a lot of us, we don't do things in order to get back. We do them just because of who we are. And that's just the type of people that our parents or our caretakers have groomed us to be. So I have always been a generous person, and I've always been someone that I don't mind helping people because you just never know who you may need somewhere later down the line. And I've never been if I do this for you, you have to do this for me type of person. God has truly blessed me and put me in positions where I've not really needed to kind of make those deals with people. Like if I do this, you gotta da da da. Like no, it's just kind of if there's something that you want, something that you need, and I'm able to do it out of the kindness of my heart. Whether that is, I have the time, I have the money, if I can support you, if I can, whatever the case may be, I don't mind doing those things for you because if you're in my life, you're in my life for a reason, and I do have a due diligence and a responsibility to be my best self for you because good people are really, really hard to come by. So, tell you guys, and this podcast is kind of like a story. I want to say about 2 months ago, um, yeah, well, maybe 2 months, yeah, 2.5, maybe 3 months ago, yeah, 2.5, maybe three, yeah. So, I ended up, I needed some work done on my car. I was like, I need to get my brakes done. Um, and I started to smell like this burning smell coming through my vents when I would drive and turn my AC on. And so I was a little afraid that maybe it was an oil leak, it was a cracked head gasket, maybe something with the transmission. I was like, it has to be something really bad because I don't really know what's going on. And then sometimes when I would, pull up back home and I'd be done driving for the day, I would kind of see like smoke or steam coming from the car. And I'm like, okay, what is the problem? And I'm like, okay, it's either the smoke from the brakes may be rubbing, maybe that's what I'm smelling, or maybe it's something else going on. But long story short, I ended up taking the car to Firestone and went to Firestone and I said, hey, I would like for you guys to change all my brakes and pads if I need them. Also check for rotors. And then I also keep smelling this burning smell coming from my car. I don't know what it is. So they did their evaluation test and all of that stuff. And so they were like, okay, your brakes are not bad, but they're probably going to be needing to be changed probably soon. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm fully remote, from home. So I don't really have to drive a lot. But I'm like, if I can go ahead and just get this taken care of for as long as I have that car, brakes will be one last thing that I have to worry about. I'm like, go ahead and knock it out. And so they also were like, well, you need a engine valve cover replacement. Your cover is cracked and we just need to replace it. I'm like, okay. So they ran me the price and everything. And they was like, all together, it's going to be like $2,100. I was like, okay, cool. Awesome sauce. I got that. No problem. So they ended up keeping my car. Um, I want to say I dropped my car off that morning, and I think I maybe got the car back late that night, like around about 7 o'clock, right before they closed. And I remember getting in the car while I was in the parking lot, and when I turned the car on, the car started like shaking, like really, really, really bad. And I'm like, what's going on? And so I remember pressing the gas to drive the car forward, and the car just completely cut off. And I'm like, I don't know if y'all are like me, but when you know your car, you know your car. If your car has not been doing any weird stuff before you take it to the shop and then you get the car back and it is literally starting to shake and fold like a Decepticon, clearly it's something that the shop did or messed up or they didn't do. So the technician comes to my car. He's like, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, my car is shaking real bad. And I've kind of in a sense tried to start it and to accelerate it and it keeps cutting off. So he got in the car with me. He was like, well, let's just drive it, across the street and see how it goes. So he kind of felt it. And he was like, well, it's probably, we had to do like some type of fuel test. And he was like, it's probably just like bubbles or things within the fuel line that just has to work itself out. He was like, drive it for a couple of days and, it'll probably work itself out if it doesn't bring it back. Drove it for a couple of days and it kept doing the same thing. So I was like, hey, I'm bringing this car back to y'all. So boom, I brought the car back and they ended up keeping the car for like 2 days. And they were like, oh, well, we figured out that it was this, and we'll have it ready for you probably about tomorrow. We just have to order this part for the car. And so I was like, okay, cool. Mind you, yes, I'm 100% remote from the house, but I have no transportation. So if I needed to get around to the store or wanted to go hang out with friends or do something fun, therefore I had to spend money to get in like an Uber. So um boom, so they kept the car, and they did kind of in a sense what they had to do, and so I ended up getting the car back. And so I drove the car for like a couple of days, and it was still kind of jerking just a little bit, but I was like, maybe it'll work itself out. So I ended up driving the car for like maybe 2 more weeks. And I remember I went to the grocery store. I went to Harris Teeter, and I was walking down the aisle shopping for some stuff. And so this lady, she's pushing the basket, and she has a couple of items in the basket. And she's like, hey, she was like, I know this is random. And I was like, okay, I know she's probably fair to ask for something. And so she was like, I know this is random. She was like, but I do missionary work, and I help like kids or families and things that don't have money and things like that to eat. And she was like, but it also has put me out of my way from my own family. And I'm just trying to get a couple of items just so that I can have some stuff to take care of my family, my kids for the week. Would you mind maybe helping? And something in me was just kind of like, okay. And I asked, I said, do you have Cash App? And she was like, yeah. I said, well, I Cash App you some money. And she's like, anything will help, whatever you have. So I Cash App the lady $50. I don't know why 50 was my number, but 50, I just sent it to her, and she was like, thank you so much. Like, God bless you. And I was like, no problem. I really didn't think anything else of it. I'm like, it is what it is. You put good out there in the world, somewhere it'll come back. Boom. So I end up going to the doctor to my PCP for a checkup, and on the way leaving to pick up something from Walgreens, my car kept cutting off, cutting off, cutting off, cutting off, and I was like, "What is the problem?" So I called Firestone, and I was like, "Hey, this car is doing the same thing that I told you guys it was doing when I brought it to you guys the second time," and they were like, "Okay, let's bring it back." So took the car to them on a Saturday, and I didn't hear anything Saturday, and I didn't hear anything on Sunday. So Monday rolled around, and I was like, hey, I am calling just to see what's the update on my car. Someone was supposed to call me, keep me updated. And they were like, oh, well, we're going to be bringing the car in to take a look at it today to see what's going on. And I was like, okay, yeah, so wait. You guys have had my car since Saturday. Um, you all hadn't looked at the car yet, and they were like, oh, well, no, we've been kind of backed up. And so I'm like, I work in the auto insurance world, and I understand shops and things, they do get backed up, and I do understand that there is a chain of command, and I'm like, still be respectful. And so I said, well, hey, I would really like an update on my car so that I know what's going on, so that I know what I can be looking forward to. Boom, that was on a Monday. I want to say Tuesday came, and I want to say, let's see. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday was like the fourth day that they had my vehicle. And so they were like, hey, we figured out what the problem was. It's a part that's missing on the car. And we're going to order this part, and then it'll take us no more than a couple of hours to put it on. And you should have the vehicle back no later than Thursday. So I was like, okay, cool. So by this time, Wednesday rolls around, and I'm like, okay, maybe they just waiting on the part. Um, Thursday rolls around, and I don't hear anything. And I'm like, okay, I should have my car back. So I called them Friday morning, and I was like, hey, I just want to update and check in and see like what's going on with my vehicle. And it was, oh, well, we just trying to see if it'll pass the test, and we just kind of waiting to see, if this part is gonna work. And instantly something in me was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but it's giving very much so. You guys have my car, you've messed it up the first time, you don't know what you did to mess it up, And you all are trying to find any and every way to keep giving me excuses until you can figure out what's going on. So by this time, I'm getting upset, I'm getting heated. And I have all of my documentation, I have all of my paperwork of the person that worked on my car. And I'm like, hey, I paid you guys $2,100 with the swipe of a card, with the expectations of having a vehicle with great brakes and to be able to no longer smell this smell that's coming through my AC vents of something that's burning, which is an engine valve cover, which you guys told me the issue was. Now you guys are telling me that it's a totally different part. Now you guys are telling me that I'm waiting on some type of test that needs to be taken or done. Then you guys had the car sitting for like 3 days before anybody even touched it. I've asked for you guys to update me, right? Keep me updated on what's going on with my vehicle. And like, there's nothing going on. And by this time, this was day 9. So by that time, I called corporate. And I remember calling the corporate office, and I filed a claim with Firestone. And the guy that filed the claim on the phone, he was very nonchalant. And I get it. It's corporate. You probably get customer complaints all day, every day, but that still doesn't take away from you showing empathy and showing compassion. And it doesn't even matter if it's fake or if you're faking it, right? Because I don't know what you're doing on the other end of the phone. You could be eating chili cheese Fritos with French onion dip. I could care less. But when I'm calling you with a concern and I'm being respectful, I do need to feel a level of empathy and a level of concern. So the guy's like, oh, okay, well, we'll get it taken care of and da da da. So he gave me the file number. I'm like, okay, whatever. So um, I ended up calling Firestone back. And I was like, hey, I filed this claim. And I was like, I need to speak with your area manager. And I was like, I need a phone call within 24 hours because this is completely unacceptable. And so they were like, okay, well, we'll find a way to get this person to you. 24 hours passed, of course. You know how they are, because they are living up to their expectations or living up to their trends now of not keeping their word. 24 hours passed and I don't hear anything. So then I want to say Monday. I get a phone call Monday and they're like, hey, Mr. Jackson, we just want to let you know that your car is ready and it's available. So I take another Uber up there. And mind you, I've been taking Ubers like back and forth. At this time, I think I have spent like $185 in Uber. And I've kept all of these transactions and receipts because they didn't even offer me a rental car, right? So I go up there to the Firestone place and they give me the paperwork and they're like, okay, yep, everything is good to go. Thank you so much. And I'm like, yeah, no. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to just hand me my keys and tell me everything is good and send me on my way, because this is now my 3rd time coming up here to get my car. And every time I leave with this, something's wrong. And I said, I need to speak to the person that allegedly has fixed this issue and problem. And I need for them to break down and tell me what the issue was. What's the concern? Once again, not being rude, not being nasty. So nasty and so rude. Not Nene, right? Any of that, just kind of in a sense, a paying customer. Because remember, $2,100 was taken out of my account that I chose to pay for a service to be completed. So boom. Technicians like, oh, well, this is what happened. We thought it was this and it wasn't this. And then we thought it was that and it wasn't that. And so we went in, we did this, we went in, replaced that and replaced this and that. And that didn't fix the issue. That didn't fix the problem. And then we figured out that maybe it was this. And what happened was the first diagnosis of what the person told you the first time you brought it in, it was that, but they forgot to check X, Y, and Z. And that's what the huge problem was. And so the guy like had the parts of what was missing or what needed to be replaced. And it was literally like 3 black little rubber pieces that were like, they kind of looked like Twizzlers, but they were just like a little bit more thicker, but they were like these hoses. And it was just 3 of them. And I was like, so that's all the problem was? So it was like, yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to drive and see how it is. And they're like, if it's any problems, bring it back. And I was like, well, I appreciate that. And I was like, but I would still like the name and number to someone in your corporate office or your area manager, because they were supposed to call me and they never did. And I did not have a great experience with you guys. And I need to have that conversation. So later on that afternoon, I get a phone call and it's from the area manager. And He's like, okay, well, they told me that you had an issue, a problem with your car. Can you kind of break down and tell me what happened? So I went through the whole entire story with the guy of the 10 days that they had my car on top of the other 2 times that they had the vehicle and had done a job. And he was furiated because he's like, nobody looped me in. Nobody told me what was going on. And if I would have known that this was going on, Mr. Jackson, we would have put you in a rental because there was no reason for you to be without a vehicle for 10 plus days. And so I ended up telling him, like, hey, I had to pay out of pocket for money for Ubers and things like that. And he was like, well, how much did you pay in Ubers? And I was like, it was 185. And he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and round it up and I'm gonna send you some money, basically put it on your card. He was like, I'm gonna send you $200 back because that wasn't right. And I was like, I appreciate that. And then he went through the estimate with me and he was like, I know it wasn't a great experience. He says, but what I can say is not only did we not charge you for any of the work that we did, but you got so many new parts and things put on your vehicle due to our mistake. And we're not charging you for any of that. He was like, you have at least $500+ of new parts and labor on this car when those things were never the issue. So when I sat back and got off of the phone with him, it's like God was like, I want to bring this back to you because remember, it's about the good that you do can sometimes turn around and be done to you. And God was like, I went to the grocery store, I want to say like maybe a couple of days later, and I went back to the Harris Teeter, and it hit me out of the blue when I got home and I was taking my groceries out the car. And it was like, that $50 that you gave that lady. And I was like, yeah. And it was like, how does it feel to have your car back? And I was like, it feels good. And then it was like, boom. And it was like, you gave that $50 from the kindness of your heart. You went through hell with this whole car situation, but not only did God bless you, he gave you $200 back in the money that you spent in Ubers. And then you also got $500+ of extra parts and labor for free on the car. So that $50 turned around 10 additional ways and 10 additional times. And the more I think about it, they had my car for 10 days. And it's like $50 for each day is what I ended up getting back in free labor and free parts on top of an additional $200. So moral of the story is this. I'm not going to go into look him because I know some of y'all out there, the moral of the story is this. You ain't, we're not doing that. Moral of the story is this. When you do good and you are kind and you are compassionate and you come from a place of love, you come from a place of empathy, you come from a place of treating people the way that you really need to be treated, good things will always find their way to you. Will it always be monetary? Who knows? Will it sometimes be a peace of mind? Yeah. Could it be money? Yeah. Could it be a different type of blessing or a different type of gift? Yeah, it could, right? But it's not about doing and saying, okay, I'm sitting, I'm waiting on my gift, I'm waiting on my blessing, I'm waiting. That's not how it works. See, you wake up and you move and you go through life and you just simply be a kind person. It's the small things. I always tell people all the time, if someone's like, oh, can you come pick me up or can you take me here? And then they try to offer me gas money. I don't need gas money. I don't need that because if I needed gas money that bad, I wouldn't have come and pick you up or I wouldn't have taken you home, whatever it may be, right? Or dropped you off at your car. No, I just do things out of the kindness of my heart because I love people, right? And I never know when my time or my day will come where I will need people. So I just wanted to have a quick, cute little story time with you guys. And once again, just be aware of the good that you do because it literally can produce more good in your life. And when you put 2 and 2 together and you see the blessing and the benefit from that great thing that you did, maybe just giving advice, maybe allowing someone to stay with you, maybe, sharing your lunch with someone, you just never know. You never know. So once again, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that little story time of my life and how just a great kind act of service worked out for me in the long run. And your boy got new brakes. Your boy got an engine valve cover replacement and additional belts and whistles and everything on the car. And also the benefit is that, my car is paid for. And I had to tell them like, hey, I'm not looking to be driving down the street and my car blows up because y'all did this. And now I have to go out and get a whole nother car with a car note because that's not what I'm looking for. But it was put up and set up in a situation for me to get my car restored even more. And she got her a little update. She got her a little tune up. She got some new additional belts and whistles. So my car's name is Isis. That's what I named her when I got her because she's a sky blue Nissan Maxima. And I said, Isis, girl, they hooked you up. Like, you good. So I learned patience in that moment, but I also learned how to stand up for myself. And I also learned how to carry myself in business situations. And me also having experience in the auto insurance world, as well as many years of management, many years of me hosting this podcast and a life coach, I was able to have really great conversations with people in a respectful and in a business way that allowed so many different doors to open for me. So y'all remember, keep your cool, keep your composure, learn to breathe. But more than anything, treat people the way that you want to be treated, because you never know how the good that you do may come back to you. Once again, you guys remember to follow my YouTube channel, Evolving with Jarell, and subscribe to that channel and become an evolver. Remember to also follow me on TikTok at evolving.with.Jarell. And you can also follow me on Instagram at lifecoach_Jarell. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this segment. I love you a whole lot. So much more, so much more, so much more on the way. And I cannot wait to share and connect with you guys more. You guys be blessed. I love you a bunch. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. Stay out of people's business. Love yourself and have a good one. Thank you guys once again for tuning into Evolving with Life Coach Jarell. Continue to support the page, and I hope that this podcast continues to help you in your everyday life. Now, if some of you guys are looking for individual coaching and you are looking for some help to break a lot of those large goals down into small goals, if you need help in confidence building, self-esteem, utilizing your yes, and breaking those boundaries and even childhood trauma, if that's you, I encourage you to visit my website for my life coaching purposes and needs. You can visit that website at www.trustjarell.com for all of your life coaching purposes and needs, and I will be 100% honest. I'd be honored to work with you.